Is this thing on? Quick! Get the teleprompters. Get the teleprompters. I don't know what to say. Somebody else please write it for me. I'm just a puppet. I don't know, man. I'm new. I got the poo on me. I don't know what to do. And we are live. Hello, Hawkins. And welcome back to another episode of Where is Vecna? Yes, it would appear that the ground is splitting open. But the people doing what they are supposed to be doing have covered up the gates of oblivion with a nice stainless steel band-aid that will for sure stop all of Vecna's army from breaking through. Probably. Not. But maybe. Yes, and even though we know this will not stop the upside down from going down upside, one thing is for sure. Lucas said hey to Arnold and appears to have a dope-ass fade that was nicely buzzed by Ice Cube himself. And it is also clear that, well, the boys are back in town, the boys are back in town, boom, boom, the boys are back in town, wow, 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 boom, boom. And the girls, of course. Well, and they run things now. Yes, we are not so sure, even though we all actually are, why all of the secret operations have caused so much devastation, but 11 is definitely trying her hardest to prepare for what is coming. And her new getup makes me want to give her a big old bear hug and eat Eggos. Yes, it would appear that Sarah Connor knows a thing or two about how to stop the end of the world and is telecommunicating broadband signals to the chosen prophet girl via Nanu Ninu. Oh, yes, and what we also are receiving is that Hopper is doing a bit of hopping around and bing-bonging bearded bebops in a state of orphan father protection measures. And even though he can walk around on a broken foot in a concentration camp without even making a facial expression of wincing in pain, well, even he knows the limitations of his badassery and what he can provide to the mission. And as for Joyce Byers, well, it appears that she continues to be a natural force of maternal, reckless female mama bear grit that will definitely eat you alive if you get too close to her cubs. And I'm not talking about that funny monkey business with Sammy Sosa and the corkscrew bat all those years ago. No, America. Yes, I'm not so sure why the sports officials cared so much about Pete Rose or Sammy Sosa when everything happening outside the baseball stadium was being rigged to epic proportions, but one thing is for sure. Yes, the data suggests that the only riggery that they will allow to be allowed is the one they say can be allowed when they masses say it can be and not a moment before. Who would have thought? Yes, and the only reconnaissance missions that appears to be in the citizens of Hawkins' peripheral field of view seems to be a slanted, distorted version of what is happening in the underground lab. And there is definitely nothing fishy going on in the Metro's media monstrosity. But who knows how the story will end, even if 11 can't see the future. But when it does, the only types of truth that 11 will allow to be hidden are the ones that Hopper hid from her about her time being a second too short in order to protect the sanctity of the mission and the people of that beautiful wooded town. Because, and let's be honest, if free speech was completely free, well, those people who practice super hateful and violent forms of protest would definitely abuse the inch and take 10,000 miles. And if you don't believe me, well, then maybe you should go listen to Michael Knowles, and whatever you do, do not, and I repeat, do not take a fancy Cuban cigar with you, because he has been spoiled by way too many fancy tobacco leaves. No. A wood-tip wine, black and mild, will do just fine. And so rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. God bless the beautiful complexion of Candace Owens. And will someone, anyone, tell Ben Shapiro to take off his yarmulke? And I repeat, code red, code red, code red, code red, code red, code red, code red. It would appear that Dustin needs help at the graveyard, and quickly. And I know what you're thinking, and I gotta tell you, I'm thinking it too. It kind of surprised me he got jumped by a bunch of white dudes. Huh. Because everyone knows only the Asian people popularize jumping someone. I'm starting to really think, I'm telling you, I'm starting to really think this whole show business is in fact some sort of science nonfiction. I can't be sure, but what I can tell you is that my cigar went out. So I need to light this mug real quick, and there's a lot of wind. More on that later. Yes, it would appear that somebody needs to tell Jonathan that nobody cares, especially Nancy, and that he should probably steal a can of Farrah Fawcett hairspray out of Steve's backpack because, well, let's just say he needs a poof. And even though Steve told me not to tell anyone about Dustin's secret, well, let's just say I'm in a secret revealing kind of mood, and skateboards had no business kissing each other, but I won't tell anyone if you don't. It would also appear that Nancy drew all of her journalism into Red Robin Hawk, and she is most certainly rocking around the clock. And when I say rocking, I'm talking, rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin, all the little birdies on Jaybird Street, rockin' and rollin', going tweet, 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 rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin, rockin' Robin, Rockin' Robin. But in closing, it would appear that Max and Will have really gone through the battle. And it shows by the trauma in her bloody eyes and his nervous facial expressions. And let's be honest, trauma is not a game, a movie, or a TV show. It's a very, very serious thing that all of us go through in some form because we are all creatures that know what it's like to suffer. It's important that for all of us suffering from PTSD, that you have the right coping mechanisms to handle the pain that you go through every day, and that you surround yourselves with people that have your best interest in mind. But it's also important that you don't abuse any one of those coping mechanisms or relationships to numb out the pain or distract yourself from facing the reality of how bad your situation actually is, or how bad it still might be. No. Because if you lie to yourself about that and you act like your situation's not bad and you don't face the reality, then you'll never heal. And take that from somebody who knows a great deal about suffering. And so, cling to the cross, my Hellfire Club. And when you do, make sure you hide behind it. Because Judgment Day is coming. And no one can account for you on that day except yourself. And so God bless, and may the symphony of fallen angels rest in the ears of sweet baby Jesus. Happy Thanksgiving, my fellow Hawkians. Gobble, gobble.